If you've been paying attention to the news recently, Hollywood is burning in hell with all the wildfires that are currently taking place throughout Los Angeles, mainly damaging the richer parts of Hollywood, which we know is occupied by a bunch of evil scumbags who, if you remember, cheerleaded natural disasters in Florida and North Carolina. When those train disasters were happening in Ohio, they were cheerleading that. Whenever something goes down in a place like West Virginia, they cheerlead that, all because of politics. And so now it's their turn, due to their own ideological incompetence, because they rather have a female LGBTQ fire chief and the first black mayor, who's currently in Ghana, Wakanda, by the way. They rather elect someone like that, people like that. Can't forget Gavin Newsom. They chose him over the black face of white supremacy in Larry Elder. They chose all of those incompetent idiots and diversity hires in the midst of cheerleading other people dealing with disaster, and now they are getting what's one could call their karma. Because if karma is real, they're experiencing it right now. And unfortunately, far too often in these particular instances, you get conservators, you get Republicucks, so-called conservatives, uh, including Trump supporters, Republicans, who say, hey, we need to separate ourselves from the lefties and say a prayer for California. You know, this is what makes us different. No, this is what makes you losers. Because this consistent encouragement to get people to sympathize with people who literally want you dead or detained over politics is moronic. It's idiotic. And it's the main reason why these people feel so brazen and emboldened enough to where they say and do anything they want to so-called conservatives. Openly try to kill their choice for president and vocally be upset about it not being successful. Celebrated those January Sixers being in prison for years, calling them rioters, calling them worse than World War II, than 9/11, while also cheerleading rioters and BLMers during 2018 and 2020, burning a large portion of the country in the name of a career criminal, George Floyd. A lot of those scumbags in Hollywood where their homes are burnt to the ground donated to BLM, donated to get those protest rioters released. These are the people that support open border policies, soft on crime legislation, which has cost millions of lives throughout this country, with criminals being able to roam free despite having 20 and 30 previous arrests. California, in particularly, support things like restorative justice, which essentially doesn't punish violent criminals. These are all of the things that these people engage in. And I'm not even mentioning the pedophilia that Hollywood is known to actively engage in and support. But yeah, it doesn't make you a better person cheerleading or supporting people who are demonic. In fact, it makes you part of the problem. Because just imagine if conservatives took the position of knowing who their enemy were and was and treating them like liberals treat their enemies. Then the entertainment industry, Hollywood as we know it, it would cease to exist because people would know that's their enemy. They need to treat them accordingly, and thus they would have been weaponized their wallet, voted with their wallet, and stopped supporting these mainstream media entities. But no, you got a lot of conservatards and Republicans constantly pushing that messaging that you have to show that you're different, that you're better. No, you're showing that you're dumb and part of the problem. If I have any sympathy towards anybody, it's the children, it's the handicapped, and it's the handful of people that have been trying to, fight against the libtardedness in that state. But quite frankly, even they should have learned that the only way to resolve it is by leaving the situation and letting it be completely consumed by libtardedness and then being able to reclaim it when there's, desperation. Just like with this last election for the presidency, a lot of people who voted Democrat before voted for Trump only out of desperation because things had to get that bad for them to have a clue. But they still spew libtardedness. That's why there's things to criticize about what may happen during this second term, but guess what? I don't care what a liberal has to say, and I don't care about anyone who supported Trump post 2020. Because if you were still buying the BS in 2020 and you only came to your census in like 2023, 2024, then you can't be trusted. You're still libtard, especially if you're someone in your 40s and 50s plus, and even 30s plus, because you should know better by then too. No, don't care about your words, your criticisms at all. Just like I don't care about anything going on with these idiots and them experiencing the karma that they so greatly have deserved. And, now we just wait and see how these morons handle the recovery. But again, I just have to continue to state this is why so called conservatives stay losing. You know, this is why they stay losing. Trying so hard to prove how they're the better person when you're not. When you're supporting and enabling your enemy, you're not the better person. You're the dumber person, and your negligence gets others hurt, including yourselves.